Gordon is in the process of becoming a world changer. He wants to impact the lives of 10 million men and help them experience a lot more balance and empowerment by learning how to deal with their emotions. You have this immense energy.
I have goosebumps, that's strong.
And that's the truth. But there was something holding him back from accepting his calling. So we called Papa, that's actually how he refers to God, to help out. If you could ask one question to Papa, to God, life, whatever that may be, that will allow you to contain that energy and know that it is yours, that it's always been yours.
It would be, or who does the Gordon that's here now have to become to be able to hold that?
So would you like to ask? So my sense is that there's this tremendous power, not just inside of you, but behind you. But it's being strangled, basically.
Mm-hmm.
When it's coming through you, right? There's this filter, this chokehold, basically, and just like a fraction of that power is coming out.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
How does that feel?
No, that resonates because I actually interesting, and you don't know that, but the pain in the head isn't everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Pain, right? So what one of the neurologists said is where it's sitting in your head is not normal. There shouldn't be pain, right? But apparently when pain becomes chronic in your body, and especially in our head, what our body does with it to make it manageable on some level is to pull it from all the different places it is and dump it in one place, so that it only has to focus in that one space instead of all over.
Where's the exact position that you feel the pain in your head?
So interestingly, would be third eye.
Yes.
It's right there. And it goes straight back through, and neurologists are like that. Well, that doesn't make any sense.
So you feel it here in the back of your head, and the front of your
here,
head.
it goes straight through, and it's constant. It doesn't thump. It's piercing, and it just sits. And
what
nothing.
If I told you,
I've tried morphine. I've got the strongest prescription for morphine you can get outside the hospital, and it doesn't take it away. I have injections next Wednesday. I have injections 16 into my head to try and make it go away, and it doesn't take it away.
What if I told you that this is the best news possible?
That would be wonderful. It's been there 3 years, more than 3 years, constant.
Yes.
So
yes. Would you like us to dive deeper?
If you're deeper, I'm in.
Okay, beautiful. So it's not a coincidence that my feeling is that your power is behind you, right? And it's being strangled. Basically, it's in its exit point, right? But the interesting thing, it's not like what's beautiful about this is that your body's showing you exactly not just the fact that it's strangled right here, it's strangled in the back of your head as well, right? So you're not just blocking it from coming out, you're blocking it from coming in. But it's there, right? So let me ask you this. When did you start feeling this pain specifically?
Well, it's been just over 3 years, so it would have been about the same time as
yes.
I'm just trying to remember because there wasn't really a catalyst that I could put my finger on and go, it was right there. I did have a coaching practice that started organically. And I would say that's Papa, that was divine. And they were professional athletes. Almost all of my clients were pro athletes. So, but
when did you start that?
That would have been in 2017. Late 2017.
So 5 years ago, right?
Yep. I was taking my 6th Tony Robbins certification for strategic intervention at the time. And I was sick and not moving around then. I was still in bed. But it engaged me. This person engaged me out of the blue on somebody else's wall. And anyway, pro athlete from another country. And
what were you helping them do?
Accountability. What most of them wanted was, they're already at a high level discipline wise. So what they were looking for was, hey, mindset stuff. So for instance, when we did 3 or 4 sessions together, he said one of his buddies, mates on the pitch, he called it. I knew what a mate was. I didn't know what a pitch was. But he said he noticed a difference. One of my buddies noticed a difference in the way I approach and the way my mind is working and the way I respond to people and situations. And he said, what are you doing differently? And he said, well, I've got a coach.
Okay.
So most of those people were just like yourself. They were mindset,
Let me
performance, high performance.
let me ask you this. What happened 3 years ago? First thing that
Um,
comes to mind.
the only thing that sticks out in my mind is that some of that stuff was coming to an end only because I knew I wasn't well and I wasn't reliable. So
Right.
again, you go back to the Energizer Bunny thing. I was the guy that was at work at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, was still there at 1 o'clock in the morning, 10
Mhm.
days a week. That's so I always sort of felt, I still feel, I've got 3 sons, teenage
Mhm.
sons, and they're not old enough to remember dad when he was 300 miles an hour with his hair on fire. They remember what they see now as dad, where I sleep ridiculous amounts and I'm engaged with them, but not at the same level. And so the work ethic that was embedded in me with my dad and our family and whatnot, they're not seeing any of that. And so part of I think I feel guilty that I'm letting them down. I haven't worked since June of 2020, not because of COVID, but because I'm just
Mhm.
not, I couldn't take on another client and go, hey, I'll be available I couldn't, I was sleeping so much and it took so much energy to do that. I
Right.
just didn't have it in me. So there has been, and still is, a great deal of guilt around not being able to be who I am. And then the learning curve of, which has been really hard for me, being a performance type guy, right?
Mhm.
Being able to look at my life in the past and go, what are the pieces of Gord in the past that I can bring forward and will serve me now? What are the pieces that I need to pivot? And what are the pieces I just have to leave in my past because they won't serve me anymore?
Beautiful. Let's
That's
find out.
right. That's the hard
Let,
part.
let's find out. When did you decide to choose? When did you choose this path that you're on right now in terms of your coaching?
Um, Officially
Hmm.
would have been mid 2010s. It's something I've done for forever. I was
I
on.
mean,
I worked
I
with
mean
Cardone doing.
specifically, no, no, I mean specifically helping men with their emotional,
Oh,
their internal
yeah,
world.
that would have been that.
Yes.
Because
When was that?
Papa, in that moment, you said you're strong. It wasn't me being strong in the moment to stop the situation. Papa literally stepped in and had audible conversation with me. There was nobody here,
Yeah, yeah,
right? And
yeah.
so I heard a man's voice talking to me out of what I was doing, showing me things even. I looked out into the hallway and I could see the picture of our family. And he was referencing that, going, hey, this is part of the reason you don't want to do what you're doing. This is not the legacy you want to leave. You don't want your sons to find you like this. And
Hmm.
so when I thought, it took me a year, almost a year and a half, to realize that wall, there's never been a picture of anything on that wall because there's no room on that wall. So Papa literally in the moment had said to me, this is not, again, semicolon. I could have put a
Hmm.
period and I had more to
Hmm.
say, but it wasn't
Hmm.
what I had to say. It was what he wanted me to say. He wanted
Right,
to
right,
use that
right.
experience, to your point,
Hmm.
my experience, to be able to help other people, other men, other people in general, but certainly other entrepreneurial men get through what.
And how many years ago was this?
That would have been late 2017.
Beautiful. That's when the experience was, right?
Yeah.
And did you immediately start helping men with their inner worlds, or did it take, like, when did you officially start on this direction?
Um, it took me more than a year to even admit I had done it,
Right,
even to myself. I didn't tell my
right.
wife. I didn't tell anybody. Right. So the first time, so that was the first kind of healing that happened, was admitting that it
Hmm.
had happened and writing it in an online magazine. And then I
Yeah,
wrote it in a book. And then
yeah.
somebody, that was healing to some degree. But the biggest for me, where if you're saying, hey, what was the catalyst? What's a pinpoint a situation where you or experience you can pinpoint where there was a major shift that you identify was when I spoke that story on a Monday stage, where I put that information on the magazine. I was behind a screen, and in the book I wasn't right there. But when I said that night to my family, that some of them didn't even know, work colleagues, they didn't even know, church people didn't even know, and all these strangers, once I put that vibration out
Yeah.
with my mouth and
Yeah.
faced up to it directly, the whole universe shifted, because that was, to your point, and I hadn't thought about it like that. I at the time I questioned, because within a week, three of my buddies, one of them 15 years my senior, reached that weren't in the room that night, reached out to me and went, "Hey, can we talk?" And
Mm-hmm.
the senior guy
Mm-hmm.
sat down at my kitchen table with a tea and just sat there and blubbered for 2 hours about, and just
Right.
unloaded all of his
How
stuff. And I
many
was like, wow,
how many years ago was this speech?
that was beginning of 2019, January 2019,
So 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Just sit with that.
Hmm. Interesting. Mhm. It was
Do you
freeing in
see
one way,
do
and
you see the connection?
absolutely I do. Absolutely I do. Well, and that first week when those three guys stepped out, it
Slow down.
stopped.
Slow down just a bit.
Hmm.
Slow down. There's immense power in slowing down.
Hmm.
And silence is the mark of greatness.
Hmm.
Because in silence, in darkness, you get the biggest insights.
Hmm.
And you've been through the darkness.
Hmm.
So this was my feeling when you said 3 years ago, but I was asking you these questions because I wanted you to also kind of reach
Hmm.
that same point, right?
Hmm.
Now, it might feel like a burden, the pain that you're feeling in your head, but I'm here to say, like we mentioned, initially, life happens for you, not against you. So your burdens are your blessings.
Agreed.
But what's missing right now, and what you're not necessarily seeing, and if I may point that out, it's not that you're disappointing your family by taking it slow, by resting. You have this immense energy. Your body's adjusting, your DNA is changing
Hmm.
so that it can be a container for that energy.
I have goosebumps. That's strong.
And that's the truth. You're not letting anyone down, you're training. Yeah, let it come. Let it come. Yeah, yeah. You said yes to a very, very important and very powerful mission. And God gave you this reservoir of energy to use, right? Well, maybe it's time to not shy away from that power and own it because it's yours. Yeah. Do you feel God with you right now?
Oh, Papa's right inside all of us, or we wouldn't be alive. So yeah, he's right
Beautiful.
there.
Beautiful. If you could ask one question to Papa, to God, right? Life, whatever that may be, if you could ask one question that will allow you to contain that energy with no reservations and know that it is yours, that it's always been yours, right?
Hmm.
What question would you ask that would give you clarity in terms of your ability to hold that energy? You can close your eyes if you need to. but just search inside. Yeah.
I don't know what so much of a question is more of a
Yeah.
prayer that just sort of says, you know what?
Yeah.
Clearly I can't. I'm not able, but he is. So
Is that you or God that's saying you can't?
I I'm not on my own. I can't on my own.
You're not
Through
on your
him.
own.
No,
Right.
that's what I'm saying. With his power, absolutely I can. But then what, I guess if there was a question, it would be, what does the Gordon, or who does the Gordon that's here now have to become to be able to hold that? What does that look like?
Let's
What,
ask.
where is,
That's a beautiful
sorry, we're
question.
becoming, right?
That,
Who do I need to become, right? And
that's a beautiful question.
a
Would you?
caterpillar has to die and embrace that to become the butterfly, right?
It
They
doesn't
can't,
die. It transitions, right?
right,
So,
right. It feels
okay,
like it's dying in the moment because it's dark and right.
probably.
It
Yeah.
doesn't understand what's going on.
So, would you like to ask?
Sure.
Let's ask, and let's see what he says.
Okay. Hey, Papa, what do I need to become to be able to hold the power you're trying to put into me and to push out to do what you need to do in the world?
Hmm. Mm-hmm. What is he saying?
I'm already what he needs me to be.
Yes. Yes.
I'm already enough. I just have to
Exactly.
let that work.
Exactly. Exactly. That was my feeling as well. There's nothing to kill. You already are the person who can handle it. But what you might not know yet, but you have a feeling of, is that you're worthy of that power, of that energy.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be yours.
I think it's being able to step into that empowerment with the
You're already
confidence
in it.
that
You're
I'm
already
already
in
in
it.
it. I think it, again, I go back to, for me, the awareness thing. That was something that came to me a while back, that it's not mental health, it's not mental illness, it's awareness, right?
Yeah.
You can't help a drunk until they admit there's a problem, right? So becoming aware. Abraham Hicks talks about things, not necessarily a law of attraction. It's already there in our vortex. Everything we need for is already there. It's just becoming aware of it being there and then
You are
holding on
already
to it.
aware. You're already aware. You're already ready for it. You're just afraid of it. That's okay. Would you like it? Would you like it to flow?
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Does your head hurt right now?
Not like it did when I sat down.
Exactly. Right. Close your eyes for a bit. Hmm. And now feel it. Feel it behind you. Feel how beautiful and loving and empowering that energy is behind you. Feel how deeply connected it is to God and how deeply connected it is to you. Notice how eager it is to be spread in the world. How eager it is to express itself through you, with you, by you. And notice how patient and loving it is. And notice that it's been sending you messages every single day in your head saying, hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm here. Hey, you're ready. I'm never going to leave you. I'm going to wait until you're ready, but I'm never going to be silent. Would you like it to flow through you?
Very much.
Beautiful. Give your gratitude to the energy and tell it, I love you. I'm not afraid of you. I've been training all my life for this moment, and I can handle you and much more. We got this, and we're going to do this together, you and me. Notice how happy it is that you finally accepted the calling. Now feel it in the back of your head cracking open. That small little opening, feel it getting wider. Feel that energy in your spine. Feel it flooding your body from head to toe. And now feel that energy in your third eye and notice how it's cracking open. That small opening, how it's flowing through. And notice yourself radiating this energy. Notice yourself being this energy. And notice the energy benefiting from your human experience, from your physical experience. Notice you changing it and notice it changing you. And notice how it's flooding the room. And see yourself flooding every single room, online and offline, with this energy, because this is who you are. Not because you're arrogant, not because you're better than, but simply because you said yes to your true self. Feel your heart, feel your body, and say, yes, I am
Yes.
ready. Open your eyes. How does your head feel?
It's getting there for sure.
Well
That will
done.
take some focus, but it'll get there.
Doesn't need focus. It's already who you are. It just took you saying yes to it. It took energy and focus to not be who you are. But this is your natural state. Well done.
Thank you.
I appreciate your courage. I appreciate your decision. It takes a lot of guts. A lot of guts. What's coming up for you?
Lots of gratitude.
Well done. I think we're there. Would you like to circle back in a week and see what changed?
Sure. Yeah, I love that.
What happened since the last time we spoke?
Sitting and meditating with and listening, re-listening to our session last time, listening to you talk and what I was feeling in the moment. And I still get goosebumps at certain parts of it, and I still get emotional in certain parts of it, which surprises me a little bit. But I think it's sinking in terms of there being an ambiguity. You know, sometimes we go, well, am I in the right place? Am I doing the right thing? Or what's the purpose of being here? All that ambiguity kind of disappeared this week.
Am I being
Right?
enough?
Yes. And I'm going, no, I'm not. I am enough, right? But then to be able to let that energy flow out of me.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you'd like to have a powerful conversation like this one that will unleash your inner power and your ability to impact the world, there's actually a link in the description. Oh, and by the way, YouTube thinks you're gonna really enjoy this video.